morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the new Create Toys E904 Sylph Fly. Now if you look at this thing, you see it comes with a nice little luggage carrying case. But actually, if you open that case, you'll discover the quadcopter is inside. The case is actually a carrying case for the quadcopter. Now, if you look at this little quadcopter, it is another little ultra pico nano quadcopter. Let's bring it up close to the camera here. I hope it's getting in view of the camera. But if looking at this quadcopter, it's similar in design to the CX-10, except it's a little bit smaller. Actually, it's about 2/3 the size of the CX-10. It comes with an on-off switch, a charging port on the side here, and a little, I believe it's 80 to 100 milliamp hour battery inside of it. And it also has these little ultra micro motors. I don't know if you can find motor replacement motors for this. Actually, if this fails, because of the cost of this thing so low, if this fails, you might as well just replace the quadcopter entirely. Looking at the transmitter, it has both the left stick is over here for the throttle and for the yaw, and pitch and roll is over here. Now if you push into the left stick, you change the rates, and if you hold the left stick down for 2 seconds, it enters into headless mode. The right stick here, if you press it once, activates the flip mechanism, and you can tell which direction to flip by pushing right, left, forward, or back. And this turns the transmitter on and off. Okay, that's about it. It's a very basic quadcopter, but let's go into flight of the Sylph Fly, see how it performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, the quadcopter has been bound. It should be ready to fly. I'm going to hand toss it to see if it can be hand launched. Here we go. And no, it doesn't like to be hand launched very well. So I don't recommend doing hand tosses with this little quadcopter. Let me check. Its propeller's got bent. That's what happens a lot when you do a hand launch. You got to be careful. There we go. Its propeller should be good. So we won't hand toss it. Instead, I'll hand launch it. See how that works. And there we go. Okay, we are in beginner rate right now. Let me bring this little thing down slowly so you can see it. It is ultra tiny. You know, beginners might like it. It is very stable in beginner's rate, but you are going to have a hard time maintaining orientation. Well, actually not so hard. Actually, I can see those lights very well, even in daylight out here. The lights are very nice on this. Okay, again, I'm in beginner's rate here. And I must keep this in close because, again, it is so small that you are just not going to see it any other way. Okay, let's go to a higher rate. And it has somewhat of an insane yaw rate. But as with most insane yaw rates, you cannot control quadcopter at insane yaw unless you're in headless mode. Let's see if I can do that. I'm going to go to headless mode. Oops. I'm not sure if I'm in headless mode or not. Okay, lights are blinking now. I'm in headless mode. And I guess that's the headless mode direction over there. Pulling back, pushing left. And it still has insane yaw. Is it controllable with headless mode? Yes, it is. Pushing forward. Doing pirouettes, insane yaw pirouettes with this little quadcopter. Coming out of headless mode. Okay, out of headless mode. Let's bring it overhead, and I'm going to send it up high. It's out of sight. Come back down here. So interesting little quadcopter. It's so fly. Let's bring it in close again. See how you hold this case? Yeah, it's very inexpensive too, I believe. Okay, I'm back in beginner's rate now. That was intermediate or expert. It's very stable. Let's give it a punch out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's gone. Let's do some figure eights with it. Seems to have a good flight time too. And if you notice, again, I'm flying in a different spot. My old spot that I like for flying these smaller quadcopters has really gotten brown and ugly looking. So I came here to the city park. They water it here. The other park doesn't get watered as much as this one does. Now this one's, I can see that this one's building up a slight, what do you call it, drift, accelerometer drift. So what I'm going to do, folks, real quick, I am going to land it for a few seconds. Whenever you get an accelerometer drift, where you find that you have to give the stick much more and more control to keep the quadcopter steady, that's caused by the accelerometers. And all you do is let the quadcopter sit for a few seconds and then take off again. That should be it. And there we go. Accelerometers are corrected. This is true for most of these little nano quadcopters, especially the Cheerson CX-10. I noticed that thing would pick up drifts all the time. Yeah, quite a lot of flight time with this thing. I was expecting it would be dead by now, but no. Okay, this is intermediate flight mode. Not very controllable in intermediate, and there goes the battery. So again, this is the Sylph Fly from Create Toys, the E904. Nice little quadcopter and nice little case. Hope you enjoyed this flight. It's Quadcopter 101, signing out.